Your next trip could be planned by AI. Hotel check-in, restaurant search, Insta photo spots, all done with the help of algorithms. Super convenient, but also super boring. I guess tech can improve our travels, but if everyone follows the same suggestions, doesn't every trip start to look the same? Traveling is meant to be fun. Planning it, not so much. 1 minute you're dreaming about a holiday, the next you're buried in tabs, reviews and price comparisons. So why not let AI do the work? Just as Spotify recommends music and Netflix suggests shows, AI travel planners promise trips tailored to your taste. And they're catching on. 4 in 10 travelers already use AI to plan their holidays. But can an algorithm really know what makes the perfect vacation? AI travel bots promise a lot. They will find the cheapest flights, the best hotels, and will even suggest just the right kind of activity. But how well do they actually work? Travel influencer Brie Roach has tested a few.
Instead of having to utilize multiple different systems to find flights, to find hotels, especially things to do in specific locations, because that would require Googling and looking at multiple different blogs and then looking at reviews and then looking at, different activity planners. You can now put it all into one system.
And that's a real time saver. Traditional search means digging through loads of information. AI travel tools can build a personalized itinerary in seconds and adjust it as your plans change. The trick? Be clear about what you actually want from your trip. The bots use machine learning models and natural language processing to analyze information from large booking platforms or social media channels. Then they sort it according to personal preferences.
Social media is where the inspiration happens a lot, but to go from that inspiration down to something which is very tangible that you can do, this is where AI can really finish that missing piece.
Let's look at Layla AI, for example. This travel bot draws input from more than 1,500 travel influencers. The content is additionally curated by an internal team, and videos are the main attraction. But there's a catch. AI tools hallucinate and could provide outdated or false information. According to a recent study on the future of AI in travel, this happened to 25% of participants.
Even if it's not a hallucination, your AI could be pulling from an older website, it could be pulling from older Google Maps, it could be pulling from older reviews. And so you just need to make sure that the place exists. And so I would just say a secondary Google search is enough.
How personal AI travel planning gets depends on how much information you share. The more the AI knows about your preferences, the better its suggestions can be. But whether that's worth the privacy trade-off is up to you. This is where it gets interesting for you. AI often pulls from the same popular sources. So your personalized trip could end up looking a lot like everyone else's. If you'd rather stay in control and have a more individual trip, there are plenty of apps that let you plan and customize your trip yourself. My colleague Prerana has the details.
Your smartphone is your best travel companion. We highlight the essential apps a traveler must have. My first recommendation, TripIt. This app has become very popular as a travel planner.
With TripIt, you can plan and organize your entire trip. That's everything from car rentals, flights, hotels, to even excursions and activities. TripIt works on mobile phones, tablets and computers.
Perk is an all-in-one platform for businesses to manage travel, expenses and events.
What it does? Well, it integrates automated receipts and company card tracking as well as policy and cost control for business travelers.
MyTip is an app from Australia. Rome to Rio. With this trip planner, you can research, compare and coordinate your transport options across 240 countries around the world.
Depending on whether you prefer to travel by train, ferry, bus, plane or car, Rome to Rio offers support.
All Trails. It's a popular mobile app and website for outdoor enthusiasts to discover.
This app is meant to help you navigate and share hikes, runs, bike rides and other activities using GPS maps, detailed trail info and the reviews of other users.
There are many popular platforms where you can book your stay. I like Hotel Tonight.
Hotel Tonight is especially useful for those who need to book a hotel on short notice and make last-minute decisions. Of course, some people like booking every single detail of their travels in advance. But this tourism researcher doesn't think they're missing out.
Das Zufällige.
The element of chance, this element of surprise, the very things that might define adventure are largely lost because we already know so much in advance. Of course, that gives us a sense of security, but isn't it also nice to feel a little uncertain, to have adventures? And technology takes that away from us to some extent. But when you're at the airport, it's not really about adventures. It's more about efficiency and finally getting to start your holiday.
Airport apps can also be very helpful, especially if you're already there and time is running short.
Security checks can take a lot of time, but apps can show you the fastest option. The BER app from Berlin Airport, for example, allows you to book a time slot for security for free.
I hope these apps make traveling easier for you wherever and whenever you want to go.
Can you imagine checking into a hotel and meeting a robot concierge? Some hotels are testing humanoid robots at reception. They can handle check-ins, answer basic questions, and even speak multiple languages. I guess it could be a memorable first impression?
Welcome to Autonomous, the first truly AI-powered hotel.
For now, these kinds of robots are still relatively rare and often used for their fun factor.
I think he's so fun. I think he's so smart. It's fun to have something to talk to.
Otto is the name of the robot concierge at a hotel in Las Vegas in the United States.
Basically, Otto knows anything from booking, to housekeeping, to how many towels, to how you took your salad, how you take your coffee, to what issues you have in your life, to what opinion he needs, like what do you need from him as a support. He's everything in real time for everybody, and that's the power of him. So he starts as your concierge, but we want him to be much more than that.
Robotics has already arrived in the hospitality industry, and I expect we'll see a lot more of it in the coming years. Robots are becoming a common sight in the travel industry. Most don't look like humans, but they are already working in restaurants, hotels, and airports around the world. They can deliver food, transport luggage, clean large spaces, provide information, and even help with security. Slowly but surely, robots are taking on tasks that were once done by people. I think anything that involves routine tasks will eventually be done by robots. I also see a high level of willingness within the industry to adopt this kind of technology since it helps reduce costs. Whether suitcases that follow their owners everywhere will actually become widely adopted remains to be seen. Less visible to travelers, robots are already being used behind the scenes. For example, self-driving systems at airports are increasingly replacing conventional logistics. In Japan, humanoid robots are already being tested to help load planes at airports. And tech could help tackle another growing challenge: over-tourism. In hotspots like Mexico City, Venice and Barcelona, millions of visitors each year can mean crowded streets, long queues and increasing pressure on local communities and infrastructure. Let's take a look at Juneau, Alaska, a town of 32,000 people, hit by 1.7 million cruise passengers in a year. Right now, a maximum of 5 cruise ships a day are allowed to dock. Mexico City counts 14 million overnight visitors per year and tens of millions more, including day trippers. Locals took to the streets to protest mass tourism. The protests turned ugly. Protesters attacked coffee shops and boutique stores aimed at tourists, smashing windows and spraying graffiti. The Indonesian island Bali, meanwhile, just can't keep up with the trash left behind by mass tourism. A new tourist tax launched in February 2024, but it's not being properly enforced. Tourism is booming again. In 2024, international travel climbed to 1.4 billion arrivals, almost back to pre-pandemic levels. But in many hotspot destinations, the downsides are becoming impossible to miss. Rising rents, crowded streets, souvenir shops replacing local businesses, and residents feeling pushed out of their own neighborhoods. To combat this, some cities are turning to tech. In Venice, AI-powered cameras and phone data count visitors in real time. The city's control room can see minute by minute which streets are filling up and try to reroute crowds before bottlenecks form. Similar systems are being tested worldwide, using anonymized data to predict where the next wave of tourists will hit. And Venice has gone even further. Since April 2024, day trippers visiting the Old Town on peak days have to book online and pay an entry fee. Other cities have a different approach: digital twins. These are virtual models of entire destinations, fed with data from sensors, transport systems, and mobile networks. Combined with AI, these systems can help predict tourism surges, enabling authorities to spread visitors across less crowded areas and ease pressure on historic hotspots. So, tech can help manage crowds and make planning your trip easier. But I find the best moments are often not planned at all. Sometimes it pays to just go with the flow. But that's just me. What do you think? Thanks for watching and see you next time.